Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Guiding Voice podcast series. The Guiding Voice for a better future. This podcast is to help students and young professionals to shape their careers. Thank you for tuning in. This is Naveen and I'm with my co-host Sudhakar. Dear listeners, on popular demand, we are coming up with a special 4-part series on the most important topic, stress management. And this is part 2 of a 4-episode special series. In the second episode, we will cover how students can handle stress. And it gives us immense pleasure to welcome back Disha again to cover this useful and critical topic on our show.
Dr. Disha Ghoshal is from Alternate Medicine, holds dual PhD in Holistic Sciences from IBAM and University of Colombo. She is a practicing Reiki Grandmaster and an expert in advanced meditation, tarot reading, crystal healing, chakra activation, and Ho'oponopono.
She has been an exponent of wellness restoration and holistic healing for over 2 decades. She's a founder of Beyond Illusion and one-stop alternate therapy shop, and you can visit www.beyondillusion.in.
Dr. Disha is a winner of International Holistic Star 2019, which is UN affiliated Sanfo Global Federation Sri Lanka, Arogya Ratna 2018 in Holistic Medicine Research Foundation, Reiki Gold Medal 2016 from Reiki Council of India. Dr. Disha has conducted workshops in the United States of America, Australia, Japan, and other APAC countries in addition to India.
This is part 2 of the 4-episode special series on stress management. So Disha, can we get started?
Yes, and thanks for inviting me to talk about stress management for students.
Thank you, Disha, for taking time.
I'll be glad to share my thoughts, which I'm sure will help the student community.
Absolutely, Disha. Thank you for joining us again. Alright, so Disha, exams are postponed and classes are being conducted online. Students are really stressed due to this sudden change. So what do you think they should deal this situation and how they can cope up?
Now that the exams have been pushed back and students have ample time, so right now what they can do is prepare a schedule that works for them. Earlier, most of the students were engaged in extracurricular activities or sports, or there were so many things to do. So this time, they don't have to cram their syllabus a night before their exams. They needn't do any juggling work. All they need to do is they need to study at a pace that works for them. This will make learning easier to manage, less stressful, and more well-grounded. As of classes being online, I do understand that it's obvious learning gap now. The best way to bridge the gap is by reaching out to the teacher, by asking her to share notes via email. Alternatively, students can set up a Zoom study session or conference calls with their friends and exchange notes and have a few laughs.
I think this makes sense, Disha. So it is better to be connected with the student community, with their friends, so that they can exchange their thoughts and be in touch with them. It might definitely help in relieving certain stress.
Yes.
So what are some stress management tips for technical and management students? Especially, there is a lot of pressure on students with regard to internship. Now that AICTE has mandated internship for technical students, so many companies are backing off the internship offers because of the pandemic situation.
Yes. See, the number one tip for any graduate or any undergraduate student would be to network extensively. You can't network over a coffee, can you? But you can do it over Skype or any other place online. The easiest way also to network would be creating a professional account, maybe on a space like LinkedIn. Now, how does it help with stress? So, the simple thing is, the broader your LinkedIn network, the more opportunities come your way.
Mhm.
Eventually, you're bound to find an internship or a job of your choice.
Mhm.
The hassle and stress of job hunting is immediately eliminated in the first step itself. However, creating the account isn't enough. One must post regularly, read up on other things that are happening, make new connections every day. Those are some things that you need to do as a follow up.
Mhm.
So, having a LinkedIn account or a professional account and networking on an online platform at a regular basis. This also becomes like a little bit like a newsletter for you or a newspaper where you get to know what is happening in the market out there.
Mhm.
This will definitely bring the stress down.
Absolutely, that's a fantastic tip, Disha. We also recommend majority of the students to have their online presence on LinkedIn rather than other platforms, because LinkedIn will open up tremendous amount of opportunities, and especially that will come handy in a situation like this. Thank you for sharing that wonderful tip. Now I'll slightly change the topic here. Let's talk about the parents. Parents try to make their children aspire for higher education abroad due to their peer pressure or maybe prestige issue or social stigma, whatever you call it. But this causes stress among students. And how do you think they should deal with this?
Okay, so there could be two scenarios. First, the student at some point becomes ready and willing to move. Second, the student wants to live and study in India despite parental demand.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at the first scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Planning in advance is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Make a list of all the universities that you want to apply to. Read up on all their admission requirements and formalities. Many universities might require you to submit a standardized test score. Be ready with that.
Mm-hmm.
If that be the case, then you have to start prepping up for these tests with the help of online guides and study forums.
Mm-hmm.
If you plan in advance, you'll save yourself a lot of stress of missing out any important deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the second scenario, if the student does not wish to move, wants to stay in India, have an open and honest conversation with your parents, elders. That is the first step.
Mm-hmm.
By securing an admission in one of the premier institutes within the country, the student can prove that they can be successful even if they stay behind in the same country.
Mm-hmm.
Any way to deal with this situation would be convincing parents that while they may want to be educated here in the same country, you may want to find a job abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Many students whose higher education abroad has been sponsored by their parents are actually enjoying a paid vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to be one of those students. You want to be self-sufficient. So be clear on the scenario 1, scenario 2, and then take step by step things forward.
Again, that's wonderful. So students have to do proper amount of research on the foreign universities.
Of course, it's based on your life. It's based on your life, isn't it? So we have to plan our own life. Though the parents are there for unconditional support or they know a lot of things, use the experience of parents. And that's why an open conversation with parents is extremely important. They are going to talk to you about what is their experience and how they messed it up most of the times, and they don't want you to mess it up. Do you see that they want the best for you, and that's the reason why they are kind of so-called interfering in your life? So hear them out and have an open conversation. Also be prepared with your strategy. Also be prepared with the first, second and third step so that they are not confused and they don't feel lost. As the children feel lost, even parents could feel lost. So they need to know what are the first 2-3 steps that the child is planning to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. So following the structured approach and planning in advance will definitely lead to better results. Thank you for sharing that. Now, so almost everything, including education, is going online or virtual. So what are the possible ways of managing stress for online students?
An online learning experience can be a very daunting task for many. However, managing stress isn't one of the most daunting tasks, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Stress is caused by lack of organization and excessive clutter, physical and mental. Students must ensure that their workspace is free from clutter. Organizing their textbooks, notebooks, other items that you might be printing, courses that are necessary, the printouts that need to be done. So make a calendar, make a task calendar for yourself. Create a calendar for each online class that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Map out the specific assignments that are due, quizzes, exams held, block the time dedicated to study. Extremely important.
So students aspire to go for higher education, but they are forced to get into a job to support their family's financial needs. So there are certain cases in families with low income backgrounds and all. So how should these students plan?
This is a tough situation to overcome. Number one rule is adapting to your environment. So ask yourself a few important questions. What can you learn or acquire from this job?
Mm-hmm.
If you are pushed into getting a job, what is the thing that you would learn? The skills or the knowledge that you would gain from a job would be a great resume booster, right? On the other hand, you may want to learn a new skill or get a chance to enhance an already acquired skill.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a chance to practice your skill as well.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to acquire, but never got a chance to practice it. So right now you have a skill with you and you have the time to practice it as well.
Mm-hmm.
The most tough situations in life teach us humility and appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Learning is never ever unilateral. While a degree may teach you a few important skills, a job will give you the time to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
You can always get a degree at any age. Nowadays, it's not really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But a few years of work experience will definitely help you apply to a college of your dream. Now, the second thing is, what can the change teach you?
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that the change can teach you to be stronger than you think, because you will overcome the struggles and anxiety and adapting situations. You will have so many issues. This change will also teach you
Mm-hmm.
who your motivators are, who are the people who are there with you all the time.
Yep.
In other words, who are the people who want to see you succeed. It can also reveal the opposite, who want to see you fail. So this will reveal the true friends or true supporters to you. The third part is, what outcome can you be proud of? As a student, what outcome can you be proud of?
Mm-hmm.
Would overcoming your fears and anxiety while mastering your skills and knowledge make you proud? Would accepting the position gracefully instead of reacting in anger or spite make you proud?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is yes, keep that answer in mind and work backwards.
Mm-hmm.
By acting according to the outcome desired. The outcome that you desire. If you want to be in a graceful position, for example, you plan your day one from that whatever happens, I will be graceful. My outcome, my end result will be graceful. I won't mess it around, because messing around also shows that you are not mature enough.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, you need to work backwards. Whichever question applies to you, make it as one of your goals to any situation and work on it. While you are in a mix of things, sorting out your emotions, adjusting to change, there'll be hardships.
Mm-hmm.
See any positivity in that situation. Take comfort knowing that with the right mindset, at least one positivity can be found, especially in hindsight. Yeah, it could be that you found a new friend, a situation added to your calendar, a situation served for a great teaching moment for you, or someone you met or became your mentor. It could be just a stepping stone for a more enjoyable position. No matter whatever the situation is, remain positive and never react when your emotions are high. I repeat, never react when your emotions are high. Take a few days to gather your thoughts and put a proper plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told, work backwards. These strategies discussed are tried and tested. Many people have tried it. A mantra to live by is, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. One is begin with end in mind. So this also echoes one of the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey.
Uh-huh.
And we have to always be prepared for whatever is going to happen. And you brought out a very, very valid point in terms of everything happens for a reason. In case if we operate with that mindset, definitely we can keep the stress away. Thank you for sharing those amazing tips, Disha. In fact, I love conversing with you again and again. So now coming to the last question of this episode, are there any good websites or blogs on stress management for students?
Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of stress can be eliminated just through structured planning. An app that I recommend is Note Taking. For note taking is GoodNotes. It's a paid app actually. So if you're not in the mood to spend, then you can use any inbuilt app. Note taking app on your phone or your device will actually help you streamline a lot of things for the day. Adding important events, deadlines, exam dates on your calendar will also help you organize your day. And I think all these are available on your phone. So just use it and start structuring your day, because you are unique and you can work on it in your personal time. You can structure your day based on your personal emotions, time, and get the maximum out of the day.
All right, I think that makes absolute sense. So probably leverage some of the apps that are already available on our phone in order to be better organized. So thank you for sharing those tips and insights. And thank you so much again for accepting our invitation despite your busy schedule and other commitments.
It was my pleasure to be a part of this conversation. I hope the listeners have found it useful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation despite your busy schedule, Disha. It was indeed a great conversation. We are looking forward to the next episode in this 4-part series. Thank you. Dear listeners, to know more about our speakers and the content, visit or follow us on social media, or feel free to email us and we will be happy to share further details with you.
All right. So it brings us to the trivia segment of this episode, and today's trivia is about life skills. So life skills was never part of the school curriculum in the past. WHO, World Health Organization, and UNESCO has mandated academia to teach these skills in all schools across the globe in 1993. So different countries educate their children in these skills with different objectives. For example, Zimbabwe and Thailand, they teach children on prevention of HIV or AIDS. Similarly, Mexico teaches students on prevention of adolescent pregnancy, and UK teaches about child abuse prevention, whereas USA focuses on prevention of substance abuse and violence. Coming to South Africa and Colombia, they teach about positive socialization of children. This is all interesting and great stuff. I'm sure we have to introduce something similar in other countries too. Interesting, isn't it? So if you'd like to share any trivias, please feel free to share them through email, theguidingvoice4u@gmail.com, or you can SMS us or WhatsApp us on India number 9494587187. We will not only share the best trivias in future episodes, but we'll also announce your names on this show. Again, folks, we are open for suggestions on topics that you would like to hear from us through email. Our email address is theguidingvoice4u@gmail.com. I repeat, the email address is theguidingvoice4u@gmail.com, and you may also WhatsApp us on India number 9494587187. Request you to like our page on Facebook, facebook.com/theguidingvoice4u, and follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/guidingvoice, to stay tuned about future episodes. There is more in store. Until next time, have a wonderful time. Take care and be safe. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.